Most rivers in Iran are seasonal and have traditionally not been able to supply the needs of urban settlements. Major rivers like the Arvand, Aras, Zayandeh, Sefid and Atrak were few and far between in the vast lands of Persian antiquity. With the growth of urban settlements during the ages, locally dug deep wells could no longer keep up with the demand, leading to the systematic digging of a specialized network of canals known as Qanat and Aras. Persia's Qanat system dates back many centuries and thousands of years old. The city's arch in central Iran has the oldest and longest Qanat, and other 3,000 years old Qanats have been found in northern Iran. The Qanats mostly came in from higher elevations, and were split into a distributing network of smaller underground canals called Aras when reaching the city. Like Qanats, these smaller canals were below ground, and were built such that they were very difficult to contaminate. These underground aqueducts, built thousands of years ago, suffer no evaporation loss and are ideally suited for drinking water since there is no pollution danger. But with the further growth of the city in Persian lands, even the Qanats could not respond to the needs of residents. That is when some wealthy inhabitants started building private reservoirs called Ab-Anbar. In the middle of the 20th century, it is estimated that approximately 50,000 Qanats were in use in Iran, each commissioned and maintained by local users. Of these, only 25,000 remain in use as of 1980. One of the oldest and largest known Qanats is in the Iranian city of Qanat, which after 2,700 years still provides drinking and agricultural water to nearly 40,000 people. Its main well depth is more than 360 meters and its length is 45 kilometers. Yazd, Khorasan and Kerman of the known zones for the dependents, with an extensive system of Qanats. In traditional Persian architecture, a Aras is a small Qanat, usually within a network inside an urban setting. Aras is what distributes the Qanat into its final destinations. Ab-Anbars have a long history in Iran, and there are still some Ab-Anbars remaining today from the 13th century. These reservoirs would be subterranean spaces that were connected to the network of Aras in the city. A typical residential Ab-Anbar would be located in the enclosed garden, have the capacity to hold 50 cubic meters, would be filled once every 2 weeks, and have its inside surfaces cleaned from sediments once a year. Soon public Ab-Anbars were constructed throughout cities across Persia such as Qazvin, Jasnin, Kashan, Zavare, Ray, Shiraz, Herat, Balkh, and others. At the beginning of the 20th century, the number of public Ab-Anbars in Qazvin, for example, was recorded to be 151. Yet Iran still has 30,000 active Qanat systems today. Accounts differ, but the water quality generally seem to be satisfactory. Water temperatures of Kashan's famous Qanat of Chashma-i-Sulayman amidst the July heat is typically around 25 degrees Celsius. Furthermore, Ab-Anbars tend to further lower the temperature of the water due to the fascinating heat resistance properties of the construction material used. Near freezing temperatures of the water can readily be observed in the desert central city of Nin during summer, inside an Ab-Anbar that employs multiple wind catchers. Thus the Qanat Ab-Anbar system was easily able to supply the needs of many growing cities year-round. Location. Public Ab-Anbars were often built wherever demand dictated, but factors such as accessibility of Ab-Anbars to garages, ease of accessibility of the public to the Ab-Anbars, and a homogeneous density of the Ab-Anbars in each area determined the size and location of an Ab-Anbar. As an example, in terms of network coverage, one could classify the garages of Qazvin into 3 groups. Northwest garages. The major ones were Aras of Hama-e-Tashi, Karizavak and Karizavshah. North Karizes, the major ones being Karizav Hilal Abad, Karizav Askakani, Karizav Tefuri, Karizav Kiyaban. Northeast Karizes, the major ones being Karizav Hatambe Khatuni, Karizav Mirza Rasuli, Karizav Aga Jalali, Karizav Sheikh Hamadi. Each of these Karizes covered a specific neighborhood and often further branched into sub-Karizes as they went along, serving private and public anbars. Yet most anbars ended up being located in proximity or adjacent to commercial, religious, or other public places of interest. Many anbars would be located at busy intersections. Unfortunately, the urban fabric of many cities in early 20th century Iran has changed dramatically over the years. Hence, the anbars today seem to be situated out of place. Preservation. In Qazvin, which was once dubbed as the city of anbars, today less than 10 anbars remain intact from the destructive forces of hasty modern urban development. Of the other 100 or so anbars that used to be scattered throughout Qazvin, only parts remain. Most have been destroyed by housing projects and private developers. In Qazvin, none are functional anymore. However, anbars continue to be used in some areas in rural Yazd and urban Nin. Qanats are mostly used in rural areas and/or for agriculture. Fully intact surviving anbars of Qazvin in order of capacity. Explosive migratory trends in Iran in the past 30 years have led to a wave of hasty urbanization inside the old quarters of ancient cities, destroying their original fabric. Some fare better than others though. Thus, for example, when comparing Qazvin to Yazd, Qazvin has fewer surviving anbars despite the fact that Yazd's anbars have been retired for much longer time spans.